All right, chapter 5. Chapter 5 deals with sound and waves. So let's start out with the first equation that we're going to use. It turns out that the period of a wave, we'll use capital T for period, is related to the inverse of the frequency. So 1 over the frequency. So, and of course, since that's true, then, the converse is true as well. The frequency is equal to 1 over the period of the wave. Now the units for the period T, the units are seconds. Okay, and if you look at the frequency here, you would think that the units for frequency would just be 1 over seconds, and of course you'd be right, but we call 1 over seconds, or cycles per second, it has a special name, and so the units for frequency F, are called hertz, capital H, lowercase z. So that's those are the units that we use. All right, let's do a quick example. So suppose someone were observing a wave, and the wave was repeating in time. So you just look for, with waves, you just look for the corresponding parts of the wave. So usually it's the peak to peak, or the bottom of the wave to the bottom of the wave, wherever the wave is repeating itself. So the amount of time it takes the wave to go from this point to this point, so that time, t, is what we call, of course, the period. So that's the period in terms of time. Okay, so suppose somebody observed that the period of a particular wave was, I don't know, how about 5.3 seconds? And so let's go over what we exactly mean by that. So what we mean by that is it takes 5.3 seconds for the oscillating wave to repeat itself once. Okay, so that's what we mean by the period. And if that's what the period is, we could ask, what's the frequency? So the frequency is what? And of course, we'll just use our formula. The frequency is simply 1 over the period, which is, in this case, 5.3 seconds. And so that's going to equal 0.1. I just did this on my calculator. Let's just round it to 1.9. And the way we would write that, you don't write 1 over seconds or cycles per second. It would be written as hertz. Okay, so there's our first example.